Hi there guys, Sam here. You join me with a Suzuki Swift Sport. I'm really looking forward to going through this because basically I'm really interested about why you would buy this car over say like a Fiesta ST-Line, even potentially a Fiesta ST or a VW Up GTI, all cars I've driven and sort of quite extensively on the channel. And I've always heard about the Suzuki Swift Sport. Now this is a 2018 model, 1.4 litre petrol engine, 975 kilos, so nice and light, under a tonne, 138 brake horsepower. It's got a lot going for it. So why, well, should you go for this? Should you buy this car? It's in this amazing metallic white. I'll go through a little walk around and then we'll go for a drive. At the moment in current sort of generation, they have a hybrid sort of like powertrain. This is just pure from the combustion engine. You get 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels, similar to what happens on my Golf R. You do get a bit of white worm, which is a bit of a shame. The owner has refurbished this. Now the sun looks great. I'm going to try and move my shadow of my head out the way because the paint looks fantastic. I love metallic white. It looks really nice. Super special. So looking just from the side, looks subjective. Do you prefer this to say like a Fiesta ST-Line? You go through the back, you get a nice twin tailpipes. I like the symmetry of it. Hopefully you can see it with the shadow. Yeah, so chrome tailpipe there, chrome tailpipe there. The owner has very kindly washed the car, and there's the Suzuki Swift Sport button. A little tiny spoiler lip, so yeah, that looks nice. The fleck on the paintwork looks really fantastic. Now they've upgraded the front disc brakes as well, the Suzuki Swift, so interesting to know how that goes. They've got quite small width tyres, 195 section, so that's going to be really a real interesting thing to see what this is like in comparison to the Up GTI that I drove. Auto Social UK's car, and that was really fun because that's what these cars are about. What they like to drive, are they fun and do they work? Economy wise, this owner is showing 47.9 mpg at the moment, so that's pretty good. And yeah, a lot to kind of like at the moment. I love these kind of cars. These are the cars for kind of like your entry level kind of getting, but can you kind of live with it kind of every day as well? We'll briefly show a little bit in the inside before going for the drive. One thing, the door feels nice and light, car feels nice and light. I have had a sit in the seats and they feel nice and supportive and huggy. Manual handbrake, 6-speed manual gearbox, great to see. Initial sort of like thoughts of the inside, it's actually a very nice place, very nicely kept, like the mats as well. So in the Suzuki Swift Sport, so straight away initial impressions sitting in it, absolutely love the seat, so big thumbs up on that. But yeah, shall we get on the move and yeah, go through things on there. I'm very happy at the moment kind of with like driving position, feels very nice. It actually, I know it sounds weird, it feels bigger than it is, which is a bit strange, but you got manual handbrake essentially. So yeah, let's take this on the road. So it very much turns on itself, really nice. Now the big thing for me is why you would kind of own this car over a Fiesta ST-Line, a VW Up GTI, as I kind of mentioned before, and also even potentially a full-on Fiesta ST. From sort of like a price perspective, it's going to be really interesting. Certainly right now I feel nice and comfortable. I've driven a lot of cars over the years, a lot of cars, and pretty much first impressions is this is a very kind of comfortable car, if that makes sense. It's not like you don't initially think of it as being like straightaway darty, if I'm honest, just straight away. But let's see, let's take it on some roads, and let's take things from there. So a little bit more driving in the Suzuki Swift Sport and getting a little bit more feel for the car. One thing that's really coming to my mind is it's got quite a lot of low down torque. For a car of this kind of size and again competitors, I know one thing, the Fiesta ST-Line with its 1 litre EcoBoost, it doesn't have that much torque low down. It's, you really have to rev it out. Very much similar to the engine in the Up GTI. This, you can be quite low down, you can be anywhere sort of below sort of 3,000 and it's fine, it can pick up, it's got the torque. You can get a little, as I'll show on screen, a little torque and power meter as well, which is really nice to see. It looks really nice in front. So it feels a bit more grown up than what it actually is, which is surprising. It's very lightweight, and I can't really quite work out because it's riding really well. It's definitely the most comfortable out of the cars that I've driven. It feels really refined. And yeah, again, it's kind of confusing me a little bit because normally the heavier cars tend to ride quite better, but this is lighter than those. So that's interesting. Yeah, definitely for me, a car of this kind of size and this kind of class shouldn't really be as refined as this. That's the one thing. Like, there's nothing really rattling. You know, we've got the aircon blowing, but there's no sort of like wind noise. It feels quite, yeah, it feels very, very much like a car of a bigger class, if I'm honest. Which again is confusing my head a little bit because it's quite light. But yeah, if we rev it out a little bit, there you go. So I mean, a little bit of noise. Brakes, these are updated over a normal Suzuki Swift in the Sport. I've got no complaints. Bit of a, I suppose, yeah, sharpness. There feels like it's just a little bit more of a longer travel on the brakes, but it stops well. Yeah, competent is the big word. Really, really competent. And because of that, because of the refinement, because of the fact that it's easier on the bumps, because it's, yeah, more refined in that side, all those benefits do come at a cost of, is it that really, really fun and engaging car? I'm not so sure. Certainly in comparison to, say, the Fiesta ST-Line and the Up GTI, I would say those are dynamically more fun. It depends what type of person what kind of car you're looking for. If you're looking at a much more kind of refined car, I think this is in its kind of own little market, really, for its size and weight. I like how tall it is as well. I've got plenty of space in here, passenger in the back. Doesn't feel like it's lacking for too much. I don't feel like I'm too like claustrophobic or anything. The windows are nice and big. Visibility is nice and big. I can see around. So it's got a lot going for it. So would I buy a Suzuki Swift Sport? I would, if you were looking for a more comfortable hot hatch. That's the main thing. That's the main takeaway for me. If you want a car that just works every single day and it's not going to annoy you, it's not going to like break your back. So we've got a bit more of a twisty road coming up. Let's see how much of a smile it puts on my face, because that's what it's like, you know. Well, certainly for me, I love a darty, engaging, super fun car. And to be fair, all cars make me smile to a degree. But let's see what this car is like, sort of first and second along here. Yeah, it doesn't skip around over these bumps. It's not lacking pace. It's not lacking pace at all. It's just really competent. That's the big thing, and you know, my face isn't gonna lie, kind of. It's a really, really competent car. It's not gonna it's not on the same sort of fun sort of factor as a Fiesta ST or the Up GTI. It's just a really competent, good to use car.